How many days is this?
I don't know, 50 or 51,
52 days?
50, between 50 and 52. Yeah.
So wow, it's a lot. So your family, what does your family feel about all this?
Well, they're actually all super supportive. My mom is excited and happy and proud, and my dad and my grandma, it's my dad's side, my parents are divorced, so they were a little harder to convince. But in the end, because I've been on TV and all this stuff, they're pretty excited about it. So, and my grandma's like,
"You go, girl.
You're protecting your lifestyle." I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're all really supportive.
Yeah. Well, I know you got a lot of support from the community and all your friends and.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why I'm still out here. I mean, I go back and forth between being, kind of nervous and also just relaxing because I know that there's a lot of people that don't want this to happen and are behind me and behind the whole thing. So that feels really good.
So tomorrow there's a lot of people coming to visit your tree here, and they're really supportive of you, and they're gonna be showing their support by standing on the ground below you. I don't know. I would imagine you have a couple of things to say to these people that care so much about what you're doing. And
yeah, I mean it's overwhelming, and I don't think about it so much as. I mean, I know that they're supporting me, but it's not about that as much as it is about
they're just taking
supporting
on
this entire community. This is their home, and this is and this is like we all know that we have the right to be here. We know that we have the right to put our bodies on the line. Okay.
So 52 days in a tree. So I know of one totally crazy windy night you had up here.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I'm really lucky because the weather's held out pretty well through this whole thing. We had one big storm, and that storm, the bulk of it was during the night, and it was just this night of just rain,
slush,
and wind, and it was and the next day it was like snow and hail and sun and hail and snow and rain, but that night, I didn't get a second of sleep because the wind was blowing so much,
I saw the tree rocking.
Yeah,
I was blown away.
I mean, I don't know if it was like twisting. It was like, in my more irrational moments, I thought that maybe I might die.
Yeah, I could see
but
why.
Of course, I mean,
this tree's been here a while.
Yeah, where everything's anchored in, not just the tree, but this and me, and so the tree's not going to twist off or anything like that.
Let's hope not.
But it was a wild night. I didn't sleep for a second.
I don't know. I think we should maybe touch base on, kind of why you did this, and what's keeping you driven to keep doing it, and to just kind of let people know why you feel so strongly about the valley and the wetlands and putting yourself through this.
Yeah, well, aside from the fact that this is the valley where I live and the people I love live, it's not so much about this valley and these wetlands and this forest so much as it is about all of them, because this is happening everywhere, and this is just the local manifestation of the same broken system that gives us the same diseases, like everything from like sexism to racism to the kind of destruction that you see happening everywhere, as in the last of our places that we have. We don't have a lot left, and this is we are part of this fragile matrix of life. not that we are above it or outside of it, but we're a part of it. It's the truth, and the fact that we think that we can, you know, remove all of this life, you know, to give way to death. I mean, asphalt does not harbor life, you know. It harbors cars, it harbors CO2 emissions, and, you know, and it's not going to provide us with any kind of a future, you know. Building more freeways is not going to provide us with a future. What's going to provide us with a future is the little bit that we have left. A lot of farmland that's being taken out of production because they have to mitigate, and, you know, Caltrans tries to turn it around and says, well, it's those environmentalists that are making us, you know, buy up your farmland, when the fact of the matter is that we don't need to build this bypass in the first place. And there's no need for the mitigation, there's no need for any of it. And so, I mean, that's why I'm here. It's not, to me, it's, you know, more of a no-brainer than anything else. Right. It's a matter of, I mean, you know, like John Wagonette said, he wrote this song that was called The Federation of People with Common Sense. And it's about, you know, Caltrans building the bypass, and it's in violation of the Federation of People with Common Sense. And the fact of the matter is that this is, you know, this is a common sense reaction to this kind of stuff, to this destruction. And, you know, anything else, I don't understand, you know. It's unfathomable to me that people can support it.
Yeah, I've been surprised how many people I thought were level-headed people are completely for it. And they're like, yeah, well, it's going to help us, you know, move our resources up and down the West Coast, and, you know.
I mean, what resources,
like what?
You know?
The logging's over, and
yeah.
I don't know. I think people are a little bit brainwashed, and I just hope that some people are changed by what we're doing here, and what everyone is trying to get the point across. And I'm really fascinated at the older people in this community that are like 65 years and older, that are willing to be arrestees and are putting their lives aside to stand here and defend this valley.
Yeah.
And very few younger people are stepping up the way these older people are. And I'm at awe of these people that are standing with you. And I'm here every day to support them and root them on and try to protect them with my camera. And
yeah.
You know, I think that's part of what helps keep these guys, you know, right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they might get a little out of hand like they want to. I see it in their eyes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that you can tell they're used to getting away with this kind of stuff. All we've been doing thus far is just calling them out on the fact that you don't have your permits and you are in violation of the law. That's all we've done so far.
Right.
And so I don't see that as any disruption whatsoever. I see that as, may I remind you that we are here doing the job that somebody else didn't do, to make sure that you're doing your job. And so, I mean, that's all we've done thus far. And you know, it's really amazing to me that, you know, how intimidating this group of people can be. I mean, when we have, you know, a majority, you know, I feel like we have a pretty balanced group, but we do have a lot of people on the older end, which I appreciate so much, because oftentimes in activist communities or radical communities, there's no bridge between the generations, and so, you know, you get this, you know, this naive mindset sometimes, and so I really appreciate this community, you know, for being able to make those connections. And it's really just a holistic form of wisdom, you know, so that all these people can get together and I can learn from them and they can learn from me, and I can do the things that they can't do, and they can get arrested easily because when you're 65 years old, they're really nice to you, you know?
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's just really, if any community can do this, it's this community. It's really how I feel, you know. There's so much power behind the people in this community that I know that, you know, if we keep this momentum going, that we can stop this project.
Well, I was amazed at the CHP officer asking Sarah for permission to take the equipment away from the East Hill site. He was asking her what he could and could not do. He's wearing a gun and he's got backup all around, but here's this little 5 foot whatever lady. He's asking her permission for every move he makes.
Yeah, well, that's how it should be, you know. I don't know what, his reasons for that are, but that's beside the point. The point is that's how it should be. They are supposed to be asking us because they're supposed to be working for us.
Yeah.
And we're the ones who pay them to do their job, and so I appreciate that. I appreciate, that he's willing to kind of, try to balance that out a little bit as opposed to just, being...
Yeah, Epperson was very, very respectful for most of the people, and then the next day I saw the next officer that came the next day. He wasn't quite as respectful. He told her, before he knew anything about her, he told her that if you don't have an ID, we want to make sure that anyone here without an ID is not a criminal. And then he looked at her and he said, but you're obviously a criminal, so I don't even need your ID. And just judged her before he knew a thing about her. And I see that the change is coming, and tomorrow's going to be a huge day for all of us.
Yeah.
And
or at least, at one point next week, definitely.
Yeah, and
I mean, it's really important to stop this project really before it starts. So, and I'm just continually amazed at when we call for action like this, people show up. Whether or not CHP or Caltrans is going to be here or not, people are here and flooding this area, and that is really great. And if they don't show up that day, that's fine. And we come back the next day. The point is to head them off before they can start. And I know that I think our little battle this coming week is going to be probably mostly with CHP because I know they're getting a lot of pressure from not only Caltrans but also John Pinches and MCOG, and so all those people who have put money into it or have been expecting this project to happen are really pushing to get us out of here, and which obviously
it hasn't happened.
Isn't
easy.
Shouldn't be happening. But this place doesn't belong to anybody. But right now, it needs someone's protection. And this, because this is, it's important that this remains its own autonomous place. This is a future. If we leave it be, it's a future. But of course, there's so much destruction from this project. I mean, it's insanity because, when I first started learning about the process that, this process it's going to take to build this highway, and it's absolutely absurd. And they're getting huge, their wetlands fill permit for the northern end is like the largest permit that they've had to divvy out in 50 years or something like that, and it doesn't make any sense. Obviously, you don't pave a wetlands. It doesn't make any sense.
No, when they've already destroyed 98% of the wetlands.
Right, and so instead of being like, oh, we shouldn't build a highway on top of a wetland, they say, oh, right, let's just put in 55,000 poles that are going to go 85 feet down into the ground to suck the water up, then fill it, then pave it.
Yeah.
That is insanity. It's insanity.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.